This video is for every boy that did not give me attention, because you know, I thank you for your service, because if you gave me attention, if boys gave me attention right off the bat, I think I really would have been boy crazy for the rest of my life. But luckily that didn't happen, so now I don't chase boys. Boys chase me. Thank you. When I was younger, I was obsessed with boys. Let's take a trip down memory lane and I'll show you what I mean. Exhibit A. These are my diaries from when I was in like 8th grade and 9th grade, and I think earlier. In middle school and in high school, all I wanted was for a boy to like me. I wanted to be loved by a boy so badly. I was jealous and envious of all the girls that had boyfriends in high school and of the girls that all the boys had crushes on. All I used to do was chase after boys. Any boy that would give me attention, I would just fall head over heels for them. And I get it, high school is boring, school is boring. There's really not much going on in an average 15-year-old's life, and that's why hormones be going wild. I get being boy crazy. It's okay to be a little boy crazy because there's really nothing else going on. But before I go ahead and rag on myself for 10 minutes straight, or however long this video is gonna be, I do have to give a little pat on the back to my inner child, my 15-year-old self, because girly was really going through the trenches here, and we're not about to drag that fool through the mud without giving her respect. As you should, sister. Yeah, when I was 15 years old, I had like really bad grades. Actually, my grades weren't that bad. They were like A's and B's. I had a 3.5 average in high school, so chill, Tarina. My parents were very strict. Asian parents, you already know. Like, I went to a super competitive high school, and I just like was confused on who I was and not fitting in, etc, etc. Okay, so that's to preface this video. That is who we're working with, 15-year-old me. Okay, and also 8th grade me. But yeah, different versions of me in this multiverse. Looking back on it now, I am 23 years old. 10 years later, I realized that during this teenage boy crazy phase, I basically did not have like a sense of identity or a sense of worth, and like I didn't love myself. So, and that's the thesis. That could be attributed to why I went boy crazy and why I was so determined to get the attention and admiration of boys, when in reality, like, I had to work on myself first. But let's start off where it all began, okay? My villain origin story. When I was in 8th grade, I had the biggest crush on this boy. And like all immature 13-year-old boys, he would constantly tease me, and the teasing became so intense that I think it was literally bullying. As a 23-year-old, I can definitely say that I think it really was bullying. So in 8th grade, this boy that I really liked, he started to call me a very demeaning, mean nickname. It's something that no one wants to be called. So he would call me Turd. And tell me why I let this go on for so long. I let this go on until senior year of my high school, because everyone I went to 8th grade with also went with me to high school. So if you're watching this, you know who you are, and I hope God forgives you, because I definitely have not yet, and it's been 10 years. And when this boy was calling me Turd, which was the nickname that he so thoughtfully gave me, at that time I was in 8th grade, right? So I was 13 years old. I didn't see it as ill-intentioned or hurtful, because I was like, okay, it's okay if he's calling me that because he's just joking. Like, he's just joking, and it's because he likes me, or like he's giving me attention, so it's fine. I don't really care. The way that this nickname stuck with me all the way to high school, all the way to senior year of high school, even after it only went away when I moved away to Boston, across the country. Like I said, this is part of my villain origin story. So this experience, this event, this nickname thing, it really had a negative effect on my self-image and my self-worth, because basically for like many years I thought that I was unworthy, and I thought that no one was ever gonna love me. And because if you think about it, if someone is calling you a piece of, you start to think that you're a piece of. Yay, 8th grade. Before we move on, I just want to say the way that I was letting this freaking demon ASS, immature, underdeveloped, because he's 13 years old, boy, demean me and make me feel so bad about being myself It's horrifying. And I, as a 23-year-old now, to my little 13-year-old self, sis, tell him to stop. Okay, you got this. So because I did not see any value in myself and I didn't think that I was worthy of being loved by someone, I began to chase after freaking boys, like teenage boys. The worst breed of them all. So I was now 15 years old and I hated who I was. I began to think that I was super annoying and that no one wanted to be my friend and no one wanted to date me because why would they? Like, I'm a piece of blank. And I just spent like too much time trying to be someone I wasn't and trying to change myself, all for the attention of a freaking teenage boy. Literally, ugh, the worst breed. This didn't really change until I got to college. So when I got to college, if you watched my college video, I mentioned that I moved halfway across the country and I moved to Boston for school, where I lived by myself for the first time and I did everything by myself. So I spent a lot of time with myself and I felt like that I was very independent and I really rose up to the challenge. You know, I lived in literally the coldest city ever, and maybe not to the cold climate people, but it was to me because I'm used to California weather and it's like 70 degrees every single day. But I lived in Boston, and then I also lived in like the most horrible living situation ever. 5 people to a 1-bedroom apartment. So yeah, going through these challenges really made me begin to value myself, and I was like, yeah, like I'm actually really good. Like I'm a hands clap to me because I realized my self-value and my self-worth. I also learned to focus on my goals and aspirations. So I was very motivated to achieve my goals and to, you know, get through every day with a lot of energy and vitality. You know, I had so much energy and I basically thought I could do anything, which college me, you could do anything. But God, the universe, whatever you want to call it, really said, Tarina, you think you're good? You think you're all that? Let me give you a little challenge. And girl, in my sophomore year of college, as I was riding the highs of my newfound sense of worth, sense of identity, God gives me this freaking boy. God, every story starts with a freaking boy. And of course this fool has no business talking to me, because you know why? This fool was fresh out of a long-term relationship, 4 years since high school. Now we're in college, so he was emotionally unavailable. He didn't want anything to do with me, actually. He was just talking to me. Why was he talking to me? Because he was lonely. Being a few years removed from this situation, it is painstakingly obvious to see that this boy did not want me. He did not want anything to do with me. So why was I bending over backwards trying to make it work? Why was I trying so hard, putting in so much effort for someone who didn't even want me in the freaking first place? I remember, like, I would try to double text. I would text him first. I would lurk on his Instagram. I would do all kind of tricks to make him jealous. But in the end, if someone doesn't want you, they don't want you, okay? Like, girl, realize it, stop wasting your time, and get out of there. To this day, I still don't know why I was bending over backwards trying to make someone fall in love with me, because if they don't love you, they don't love you. Like, that's how the world works. Tell me why I was obsessed with the most basic Asian boy ever. Like, he was so basic. There's no shortage of Asian men in this freaking country. Why am I staying obsessed with another Asian boy? Like, there's so many out there, and it's not like he was anything special. He just, you know, liked to give me some droplets of attention, and that's what I went off of. So, obsessed for what? I think in the end, I finally realized my self-worth, and I was not going to waste any more time on some irrelevant boy, actually. So I just realized, like, why am I wasting my time chasing a boy? There are other things in life that are fulfilling and that make me happy. I should not be giving away this much power to someone who doesn't even care for me and who doesn't even want to give me the time of day. Why am I doing so much for this person and giving away all my attention and power and energy? Yeah, so I just randomly realized that I was amazing. Like, I know I'm the baddest of them all, so I finally realized my worth, and I think it was a combination of finding myself, through just being alone and living in the coldest city ever and living in the worst living conditions ever with 5 people in a 1-bedroom apartment. So I just thought, like, dude, if I can do that, I can do anything else. Like, I don't need any person or any boy specifically to give me what I already have. I continued to put myself through challenges that I knew that I could get through. Like, I tried to constantly challenge myself because that's how I know, like, I really did not need no freaking boy to give me validation that I am worthy, because I give that to myself now. So that's one of the most important facts, I think, in loving yourself and not chasing after boys, is that you have to love yourself first, and you have to have confidence that you're amazing and that, you know, you are enough, basically. And now for me today, luckily I am in the best relationship with someone who doesn't hesitate to put me first, and he understands my worth. He always goes above and beyond my expectations. He doesn't make me jump through hoops or play stupid games or even question if he loves me. And he loves me wholeheartedly and is always unashamed in showing it. Looking back at it, I do think that I had to go through that long ASS phase of being boy crazy, because it's really shaped me into who I am today. And for Tarina today, once again, I don't chase boys. I will never chase another boy in my freaking life, because it's always gonna be the other way around. Boys chase me. Period. Bye. Tarina, only on YouTube.com.